Right, chapter 19 from Wayside School Gets a Little Stranger. What was so weird about this building here, Emma? The Wayside School. What do you remember?
There are 30 stories,
Uh-huh.
but no 19th floor.
There's no 19th floor, and this is chapter 19. It's called Time Out. Something weird's going to happen in this chapter. It's a weird chapter, right, Emma? Very weird.
I don't understand it.
So we're going to pay attention because they might talk back about it later in the story. So pay attention as I read. Chapter 19, Time Out. Miss Sarves taught the class on the 19th story. There is no 19th story, and there is no Miss Sarves. You already know all that. But how do you explain the cow in her classroom? Miss Sarves drew a triangle on the blackboard. A triangle has 3 sides, she said. Then she pointed to each side. 1, 2, 3. She drew a square. A square has 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. She walked around the cow to the other side of the board. She drew a pentagon, a hexagon, and a perfect heptagon. A heptagon has 7 sides, she said. Miss Sarves was very good at drawing shapes. When most people try to draw heptagons, there is always one side that sticks out funny. But Miss Sarves' heptagon was perfect. Every side was the same length and every angle the same degree. It was a great talent, but nobody appreciated her. Nobody appreciated anything she did. It was like they didn't even know she was there. She counted the sides on the heptagon. 1, 2, 3, 4. Moo, said the cow. Miss Sarves dropped her chalk. She glared at the cow. I hate this, she shouted. It was a brown cow with a white head. It's all right, Miss Sarves, said Virginia, her best student. I'll get the chalk for you. No, said Miss Sarves. Leave it where it is. The cow made me drop the chalk. The cow should pick it up. Her students gaped at her. I will not continue, said Miss Sarves, until that cow picks up that piece of chalk and draws an octagon on the board. She folded her arms across her chest, stared at the cow, and she waited. Ray raised his hand. Yes, Ray, said Miss Sarves, arms folded still across her chest. Cows can't pick up chalk, said Ray. Miss Sarves sighed. I know, and I can't teach with a cow in my classroom. No one had ever seen Miss Sarves so upset before. She usually had a pleasant disposition. It's okay, Miss Sarves, said Virginia. I don't mind the cow. You get used to it after a while, said Ray. What cow? Asked Nick. Oh, that one. I forgot it was there. Miss Sarves smiled. She knew her students were trying to make her feel better. Other classrooms have goldfish or hamsters, said Virginia. It's really no different. No, said Miss Sarves. I won't have it. All my life I've tried to be accommodating. I've never been one to complain. And what has it gotten me? A cow. She shook her head. When I was a little girl, my friends never did what I wanted to do, she said. I always had to do whatever they wanted to do. And my teacher never called on me in class. She always called on the kids who just shouted out without raising their hands, even though she said she wouldn't. She'd say, I won't call on you if you don't raise your hand, but then she always did anyway. But I was a good girl and I never shouted out. And she always did things alphabetically, so I was always last, if there was time for me at all. My parents were too busy for me. They were always dressing up and going out to fancy parties. I had to tuck myself in at night and wish myself sweet dreams. She took a tissue out of her sleeve and wiped a tear from her eye. Still, I always tried to keep a smile on my face. Well, not anymore. The days of walk all over Miss Sarves are finished. She threw open her classroom door. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. What are you going to do? Asked Virginia. I'm going out there, said Miss Sarves, and I'm not coming back until I get some grease. She stepped outside. She decided she'd go right to the top. She headed down the stairs to the principal's office. Joy and Mauricia were coming up the stairs. Todd is uglier than stupid, said Mauricia. You're crazy, said Joy. He's stupider than ugly. Oh, teased Mauricia. I'm going to tell Todd you think he's cute. Miss Sarves stepped in front of them. What are you children doing out of class? She asked. I didn't say he was cute, said Joy. He's just not as ugly as he is stupid. That means you think he's handsome, said Mauricia. Are you going to marry him? I asked you a question, said Miss Sarves. Ugh, gross, said Joy. I am a teacher, said Miss Sarves. That means you are supposed to listen to me. Joy and Mauricia walked right past her. Miss Sarves sighed. Then she continued down to Mr. Kidswatter's office. She took a deep breath to steady her nerves. She was about to knock, but then changed her mind and just marched right in. Mr. Kidswatter, I had to talk to you. The principal was making a rubber band ball. Do you hear me? Asked Miss Sarves. He opened his desk drawer and looked for some more rubber bands. If you don't answer me right now, said Miss Sarves, I'm walking out that door and never coming back. Mr. K pressed the buzzer on his phone. Miss Knight, you need to order more rubber bands. That's it, said Miss Sarves. I'm leaving. Goodbye, I quit. She walked out of the school and took a deep breath of fresh air. Please don't go, Miss Sarves, said a voice behind her. Startled, she turned around. We need you, said a bald-headed man. He was standing between two other men. Both had black mustaches, and one carried a black attaché case. The bald man didn't have a mustache. Can you see me? She asked. Yes, of course, said the bald man, and we appreciate all your hard work. You do? All three men nodded very sincerely. Miss Sarves was touched. I've been teaching for 30 years, she said, and nobody has ever said that before. Well, it's not easy being a teacher, said the bald man. I don't get any respect, said Miss Sarves. People treat me like I'm a nobody. It's not easy being a teacher, said the man with the black case. You have to work long hours for very little money. I've never even gotten paid, said Miss Sarves, and this is the first time in 30 years I've ever left the building. It's not easy being a teacher, agreed the other man with the mustache. Even the book I'm reading to my class, said Miss Sarves, the author makes fun of teachers. It's a tragedy, said the bald man. Then why do it? Asked Miss Sarves. Why teach anymore? I could quit and nobody would care. The children need you, all three men said together. Miss Sarves sighed. I like to teach, she said. I really do. I love the children. It's just... She stopped and wiped her eyes. The man with the black case opened it. He took out a handkerchief and handed it to Miss Sarves. Thank you, she said, blew her nose, and then gave it back to him. He placed it back in his black case. Can you at least get the cow out of my classroom? She asked. The bald man smiled. I'll see what I can do, he said. Miss Sarves smiled as she slowly shook her head. Then she turned and walked back into the building. That was strange, wasn't it? I wonder what's going to happen next. We're going to have to keep reading to find out if we hear about Miss Sarves and if she's real or not. What do you think, Emma?
I don't think she's real.
What do you think she is?
A ghost.
A ghost? Ooh, that's creepy. I kind of like that. Let's see. Keep reading to find out. All right. Bye-bye.